joined from Ramallah by political science professor Dr. Abdel Nasser Makki. Welcome to Q News, Dr. Makki, and let's start by asking you, how do you view the start of the ceasefire in Gaza?
Welcome for all of you. And I hope that today will be the standing way or starting way for the releasing all the detainees and also the hostages. I think we are waiting now for the release of the three hostages from the Israeli soldiers. And also, at the same time, by evening, I think they will be released by from 90 to 120 prisoners from the Palestinian. So I hope that everything will be going according to the plan, regardless or despite what happening in the morning at 8:30, and about 20 Palestinians have been killed by the Israeli. After that, after 11:15, and also everything, I hope that it will be going well, and it will be until the 42 days, according to the agreement, that the implementation of the agreement will go ahead with the plan.
Okay. Dr. Makki, describe to me your personal reaction to the ceasefire and the beginning of the humanitarian aid entering Gaza. How do you view it?
I hope that also at the same time, according to the agreement, it will be about 500 to 600 trucks will go to Gaza with the assistance, fuel, and also with the medicine and also with the food. So it will be good, and it will support the people of Gaza, which are waiting for this assistance from that's many times. So it will be parallel between the release of the hostages and in the same time the entering of all the assistance. But I hope that it will for the assistance, humanitarian assistance. I hope that it will go fast because the people there, they are willing to receive all these humanitarian medicine, fuel in order to run the hospitals, remaining hospitals, and also to go back to their normal life, which will take, I think, a long time. But to start, it's better than not to start. So I hope that it will increasing also in the coming days all the assistance to Gaza and to increasing the trucks which full with the medicine and the fuel, because I think there will be about 4,000 trucks. They are waiting on the border in the Egyptian side.
So, what are the next steps following the agreement on the ceasefire in Gaza?
I think that it will, as I said, I hope that the implementation of the agreement will go ahead according to the plan. This is one thing. The other thing, I hope that there are no any violation or any because as you know that many of the Israeli ministers like Ben-Gvir and also Smotrich, they
Yes.
are against this agreement, and they are threatening that they will withdraw from the
Ben-Gvir had
government.
already
But at the
submitted
same
his
time, also
resignation.
resignation, yes, as
Yes,
Ben-Gvir resigned.
yes.
But this resignation, it's conditioned with approval from Netanyahu. But I think that he will come back after the that's this 42 days or after the implementation of the agreement, which will be three stages. And so Ben Ghafir he didn't want to sign on this agreement, as he said that it's bad for Gaza because they didn't conquer Hamas, they didn't, that's even release all the hostages by the pressure of the fire. And at the same time, also Smotrich, he threatened also, but he reached agreement with Netanyahu that he will stay, but he put some preconditions for Netanyahu after the 40 days to continue this fire against Gaza, attacking Gaza. So the next step, I think that also at the same time, the consultants from Trump the administration and Stephen Woodcock, he will stay here. According to the American news, he will come here and he will stay in order to monitor and to watch the ceasefire until the three stages and until all the
Mhm.
release of all the hostages from the Israeli and also from the prisoner from the Palestinian.
Mhm. Professor Makki, our sources have just informed us that the exchange deal have already started. It has already started, and the detainees are being exchanged now. Your comment on this, please.
Yes, that's what Hamas, that's promised that the three hostages from the Israeli at 4 o'clock they will be released. So it's go ahead with this they promised, and now they implemented what they promised. So I hope that after that, because as you know, every week, every Saturday will be released from the hostages. And also at the same time, from the Palestinian detainees. So today was the test today for the agreement to be implemented according to the plan. And as you said, now it has been exchanged. So now it will be increasing and giving the goodwill for the two parties to go ahead in the future for continuation of this process.
Mhm. Describe the current situation, Dr. Makki, to us in the West Bank after the ceasefire in Gaza began, especially that we have seen footage of the Palestinians celebrating everywhere.
Yes, today I was in Hebron and I come back from Hebron and it took me about 6 hours to
Mhm.
reach from Hebron to Jericho, which is about 70 kilometers because of the checkpoints of the Israeli. They
Mm.
make Hebron city, which is the biggest city in the West Bank, as isolation
Mhm.
city from the checkpoints, 10th of checkpoints in the Hebron, and also at the same time in Bethlehem. So,
Mhm.
in order to avoid the celebration of the Palestinian for the releasing of the prisoners, also the Israeli will not release them until the night. And also at the same time, they request from their family not to make any celebration from the offer prisons, which is in Ramallah, near Ramallah, as that's what happening. Even to make celebration. But this is the answer for the questions about today, and maybe until the end of this agreement to be end. But what
Mhm.
I want to add here is that according to the agreement between Netanyahu and Smotrich,
Mm.
that before that, Smotrich, as he the Minister of Finance and also he responsible about the settlements in West Bank, he requested from Netanyahu to increase the settlements and also to make to annex, that's the huge party of West Bank, especially in Area C, about 60 percentage from the West Bank. And also at the same time, now all the target area will be West Bank, because this is what Israel is thinking, to go to West Bank, not to Gaza. They will finish Gaza, and after that, they will come back to West Bank, and I think there will be some political solution for the West Bank, which is will be from the Israeli side. And
Mhm.
this is I hope that it will not make any clashes between the Palestinian West Bank and between the Israeli soldiers. And at the same time, there will be some maybe action against the PNA, the Palestinian National Authority here. So I hope that everything will go ahead. And also at the same time, as you read on the newspaper that yesterday or before yesterday, there will be there was solution in the Jenin refugee camp between the PNA and also between the Katiba of Jenin in Jenin, and
Mhm.
they reached a solution. So now the Palestinian is like unity, but the Israeli, I don't think that the Israeli will let this go like this.
Mm.
Oh, now target will be West Bank, and especially on the Jordan Valley and the southern part of West Bank. This is, I think, the planning of Smotrich and Ben-Gvir. in the West
Speaking
Bank
of
and also.
Smotrich and Ben-Gvir, Dr. Makki, how do you view the significant division within the Israeli government? We have seen Ben-Gvir submitting his resignation. This division, how would it affect the entire process?
For the division of the government of Israel, I don't
Yes.
think that will be. You mean the division like Ben-Gvir and Smotrich? You mean that this? The division of the government of Israel. That's what you question. That's what you
Yes,
ask.
yes. How do you
Yes.
view the celebrations in the West Bank after the ceasefire agreement in Gaza came into effect?
No, I don't think that it will affect because the Israeli now they have their plan, but also at the same time, Netanyahu has the 24 minister, and also he have the cabinet, he have the Knesset. For the celebration, I think the Israeli will avoid. They will not allow the Palestinians to celebrate. Maybe there will be some clashes here and here, but at the end, the agreement will go ahead because Trump wants this to come as really. And I don't think that Netanyahu or any of his government will avoid this agreement to be go ahead in the future. So we will wait. But from my point of view, I think the starting point today was good, and it will come. It will because this is, I think, good indicators for the future.
So, what do you expect regarding the second phase of the ceasefire agreement in Gaza? What should we
This is the
expect in the
problem.
second
This is
phase?
the,
Yes.
yeah, this is the problem. You know that in 16 days, there will be negotiation between the Palestinian and between the Israeli with their mediators like Qatar and also the United States of America and Egypt. In the 16 days of the first phase, they will start discussing the next stage. The next stage is full of all details, and the details will need much time, and also there will be here problem and here problem. But even that, or despite all these things, I think that the agreement will go ahead, and I don't think that any of the parties will avoid or will not implement. They will implement regardless the details, and especially the precisely details, which is concerning about how many of the detainees, how many of the prisoners. They will remaining about uh, 67 units hostages. They will be remaining, and also about 1,650 Palestinian prisoners will be released, and especially also for the names of the Palestinian prisoners, like the big one, like that's Marwan and Saadat and the others one. So, I think in the end, they will go ahead and they will finish to go to the third stages. Today was the test, and after this, and today there was the test in 8 more May 8:30, but they overcome this problem. And now I think the train is launching and nobody will stop this.
Dr. Makki, as we going to see now live footage for the exchange of detainees at the Netzerim vicinity, can we say now that the war in Gaza has ended, or this is just a temporary situation to be continued?
No, I think it will be continue. I think it will continue. The Israeli will withdraw also. They will also remove their, that materials there, especially military, according to the agreement. And as I said, the American also, they are watching and they are monitoring. This is the willing of Trump to finish this.
That was a political science professor, Dr. Abdel Nasser Makki. Thank you very much for joining us here on Q News.